This gardening video is brought to you by Potato. It's the Urban Sentinel. I'm in my garden. We're going to do a little update, cover some of the various plants and their progression. So let's get into it. Alrighty, right off the top, in these cinder blocks, I had originally planted numerous types of herbs. Basil, dill, I believe I had some cilantro in it. And for the most part, the weeds won out. So I'm not as concerned about that. It was a small planting and I'm just going to let it go as it is. Maybe I might dig them all up and plant something different, but I don't consider that by itself a loss. I really wasn't relying on those for any one particular thing. Now we move over to these pots over here. We've got fennel doing well. We've got some sage coming in with, of course, some companions of who knows what. And then I believe this is rosemary, but not quite sure, and I don't know what that is, so some things are going to remain a mystery. Right here, we've got some turnips coming up. This somehow is alfalfa. It got out of control, or maybe arugula actually. Got out of control. The tag on it is worn off. I can't quite tell. Everything I have, I've tagged it, and of course being out in the sun and everything else and the weather, a lot of the ink from the permanent marker has worn off, so some things I've forgotten what they are when it comes to certain herbs or certain plants, especially when they kind of look similar to other things. So there are a few times where I may be looking at something and it might not be exactly what I thought it was because that's someplace else. All right, we got the carrots coming up. We've got effectively baby carrots here and then adult carrots here, more or less splitting down the middle 50-50 as it goes along. And we've got a little bit of broccoli coming up. This Lola Rosa lettuce, red lettuce, is coming up well, looking good. Swiss chard, that's actually starting to look good. Collard greens, I may actually end up transplanting this out. I think it's going to get too big for this pot. Same as with, obviously the cabbage, I wanted to get it started. This will definitely have to go into a bigger pot. These are basically just loose greens. They're a mix of radish, broccoli, and alfalfa tops, more or less. Some of them are yellowing. I think they either got a little too much water or they're starting to get a little tight in there. But I'm going to be cutting them down anyway. We got several radish here in the middle, and then we've got beets planted all around the perimeter. Those right now aren't really coming up as much, but they took a little bit longer to get going. Whereas these radishes, I'll probably pluck these and do a new planting in the middle afterwards. Okra is just starting to come up. I've got a jalapeno pepper down in there starting to come up. Eggplant, that's starting to grow. This one is going to be butternut squash. These are just green beans on the side. This is a variety mixed tomato, multicolor ones. And then we've got cucumber over here. These guys are doing well. Spaghetti squash, that one, not so sure about. The other two are doing well. There's a third one over there along with some green beans. I have not seen much in the area of the red bell pepper. I did put 2 more seeds in just 3 days ago, so I still have to wait at least another 2 weeks to see if they come up. If for whatever reason nothing's happening, then that's a wash. And I've got some yellow squash back there, not looking as good. Keep my eye on that. There we got red Roma tomatoes, those are looking better. And then zucchini in the back with some more green beans. And then the peas have been the high performer. I had to strap it up a little bit because it was starting to spread out all over the place instead of climbing up the pole itself. So I used some twine. You can see it's just starting to flower. So that'll work out well. And I've got some spinach over here. And I've got this mystery pot And I do not literally remember what I put in here because, of course, I didn't tag it. And I always like to reiterate, if you're going to plant one or two things, not a big deal. You should remember what it is. But when you start doing multiple plantings, especially if you do companion plantings where you have several different things in one container, you definitely want to keep track of it. Usually I do a little bit of better of a job, but you know, things happen the way they happen. Now these are asparagus beans. They're basically yard-long beans, green beans, that as they start to grow, will start to trellis their way up the support pole. There's some loose tarragon just coming up. Nothing so far over here, but still holding out. Now, the thing that most people are curious about, the potatoes. In these 3 baskets, I've got sweet potato and then 2 sets of regular potatoes, white and red, or red and white, either way. Let's go into the sweet potato first. Now, the first thing you notice is it's in a bucket inside the basket, and you'll wonder why. Well, down in the bottom, I've got the sweet potato, and it had a small little spud on it, a little sprout coming up, and it's finally made its way up through the leaves and the soil to start here. The way the sweet potatoes work is they start to put out a shoot, and that shoot becomes a vine, and then off of the vine, flowers start blooming. And so as those flowers bloom, once they reach a certain point of maturity, you pluck the flower out from the vine, and it's called a slip. Then you replant the slip, and from that is where the sweet potato actually grows. So when you originally see a sweet potato sprouting and starting to stem up, you're not going to get sweet potatoes from that. You're going to get the vine and the flowers, and then you pull the flowers, plant those slips, and that becomes the sweet potato that you can actually consume. So for this setup the way I have it, I'm leaving this in the bucket. I'm really not going to add too much more as far as leaf compost and soil. I'm just going to let this start to grow. It'll start to vine and it'll come out a little bit. And once it gets to the point where I can harvest those flowers, then with the basket, I'll begin the process of filling it up with compost, leaf material, and soil, and then plant the slips. Now for the sweet potatoes, I'll probably fill the entire thing up and then plant slips in at different intervals and spacings along the side and a few on the very top. So it'll grow potatoes throughout the entire container. Now to do actual potatoes, you take the potato and you've got the chit, and what you do is you let it start to sprout and you place it inside the basket. Now what you're going to see is I had filled this lower part with a little bit of pine shaving mulch and some leaf debris, and then up to here with soil, and then filled up the leaves over it. The chits were inside, more or less centered down towards there. And as they started to stem up, I added more leaf material and then a little more soil, and then each time they came up through it, more leaf material, more soil. So what you're getting is a layer of soil and leaf all the way up. Now, the 2 key things to look at: one, the soil isn't necessarily evenly distributed all the way around. You want to keep it towards the center, because you put too much towards the edge, you're going to have more soil falling out through the holes than you will maintaining the interior of it. So you want to more or less put it in the center and then spread it around. And of course, I'm on a slight angle, so it tends to move in the direction of gravity, especially after I've watered it and the leaves become moist and they settle some. The other key thing you want to look at, it's very important, is you see this coming out. This is a stem, a shoot coming out from way down in there. You don't want it to come out too early. The reason being is once the stem comes out and it's effectively in the air just growing, the rest of that stem isn't going to root, and therefore it's not going to actually produce more potatoes. So anything that's going to produce potatoes is on what's on the inside going down. So if this stem gets bigger and gets bigger and gets bigger and it's up here and it's looking beautiful, great. All this is wasted space. So what you want to do is you want to maintain a sort of level of control and guide it. And I'll show you exactly what I've been doing. It's pretty simple. When I see small amounts like this coming out, you don't need any special tools. You make a little room with your finger and you gently tuck it up. Now this is kind of short, so there's a chance that it's just going to pop back out, but when it gets a little bit longer, it's going to move up behind here. And you do that wherever you spot them coming out. Like right over here, this is far too short for me to really do anything. It's not going to go too many other places, you see. So I just have to keep my eye on it, but I try to tuck it in. So this way they move back in towards the middle. The wet leaf compost and the soil, they continue to grow up through it. And eventually they get up and they get a little bit higher, because then once they're up on top, I'll add the next layer onto it. And it'll be the same process. I add the leaves, wet the leaves a little bit. I put soil around through the middle, all around it. I make sure they're away from the edges as much as possible. Try to pack in some more leaf debris along those edges, and then wet it down some more, and basically continue to build up layer by layer by layer until it gets up high enough. And at that point, you just let everything grow up from the top. Once it does that, then it's just a matter of keeping an eye on it, waiting for the flowers to bloom and then die back. And then at that point, you'll know that the potatoes are ready to be harvested. And then it's just simply a case of I can dump out the entire basket, just let everything come out, and then pull off the potatoes as I need them and start the whole process all over again. Whereas with the sweet potatoes, once those slips have turned into sweet potatoes, you can actually leave them in their container over the winter, because the way that the sweet potatoes work is their skin hardens when it gets colder, protecting the actual potato itself. So this way it can overwinter. It's not going to rot or die. It'll overwinter and you can dig it up later. Whereas actual potatoes, white, red, golden, doesn't matter. If you leave them in the ground for too long or in a container for too long, especially if there's moisture in there and then it gets cold, they can freeze, they can suffer from rot and pest, mildews, things like that, the longer they stay in. So with potatoes, you actually want to, once they're ready, harvest them as soon as possible, get them out of the ground, and then store them someplace cool and dry, that sort of thing. So based upon the overall progress right now, the weather's actually been pretty good. It's usually been, for the most part, no lower than 50 at night, maybe to very upper 40s at the lowest. And then we've been hitting 60 and 70 during the daytime. And we've had rain on average about every 2 or 3 days for at least one full day. So they're getting a good balance of sun, warmth, and water without me having to do too much. I did spray them down earlier because it's actually not supposed to rain until much later in the day, and it's only going to be a small amount. So I wanted to make sure that they stayed with the soil staying moist on top, so this way they don't dry out. And I still keep my eye on a few of those plants that were looking a little yellow. But other than that, that's the update for the garden right now. Hopefully in the next month and a half, 2 months, I'll have something really done and produced that I can then pull up and show you guys. Until the next time, I'll catch you in the next one.